Alright, so today we're going to be shooting a video to show you the way we are installing wheels and tires into one of our projects. We're using a 20 by 12 wheel, and what you want to do first, if you're using a custom wheel, is like you want to mount it into the hub and move it and see and make sure that it doesn't rub any parts of the suspension. Next thing, we're getting our tire mounting machine ready. What I like to do is put tape to make sure that I don't put any scratches or dents into the wheels. These kind of machines have like a plastic clip that you can use. However, I like to use the tape. I'm comfortable using it. This is my way of doing it, and this is the way I like it. All right. So next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna want to break the bead of the original wheel to be able to pull the TPMS sensor and reinstall it in the new wheel. We're gonna be going through the process of doing that. This is the way I remove my sensors. Whenever you're gonna break the bead, you want to try to be away from the sensor, because if you put the demounting or the brake bead tool in there and you hit the sensor, you're gonna break it off and then you have to replace it. Sensors range from $20 all the way to $60, depending where you get it from. But you have to be careful whenever you break the bead on the wheels that have TPMS sensors. So as you can see here in the video, we're trying to break the bead, and we like to use lube to mount and demount the tires. If you use proper lube, it'll be a lot easier to remove the tire. And that's all you want to do whenever you're doing low profile tires. You want to make sure that it's lubricated so you can get it in and out pretty easy. Next thing you want to do is you want to mount your wheel on the clamps, and you want to make sure that the clamps are actually holding the wheel. And you have to be aware of the position of the sensor when you're going to demount the tire. The way we like to do the tire removal is we put the head of the demount tool in there, and we put the sensor on the back part of the head. What you want to make sure once you do that, you're making sure you're not going to be touching the sensor when you remove the tire. So once you actually put the bar and you pull on the tire, that's going to get away from the wheel. So therefore, you are not going to be hitting the sensor. Again, if you use some kind of lube to remove your tire, it'll be a lot easier. Right there, we're removing the tire. One of the things that I want to mention is that this video is not for the professionals who are mounting and demounting tires. This is the way we do it. We are self-taught. We've been doing this for probably over 15 years. Right here, I'm pointing again where you're going to have the sensor on the back part of the head. So whenever you put your bar and then you try to lift the tire, it gets away from the sensor. Just keep that on mind. As you can see here on the video, we're getting the tire out, and now we're going to be able to get our hands on the sensor. It's recommended to change your sensor every time you change tires. On this case, I'm going to be reusing my sensor. This is for a personal project, so I'm going to be reusing my sensor. This is the sensor right here. And as you can see, it has a little bolt attaching the sensor into the valve stem. You need to have a torque screwdriver to be able to get it out. Right here you can see where I'm removing the bolt that is holding the sensor in place. Next thing you want to do is you want to remove the valve stem. Again, this is all the valve steams can be replaced. They should be replaced, depending if you're able to pull it out of there in one piece, then you can reuse it. But it is recommended to buy new ones. Right here, we're going to show you the old style valve steams didn't have threads for the sensor, and so you need a special valve steam to be able to install the sensors. Keep that in mind. Not all valve steams are the same. You can see where the old style doesn't have a thread on the center, and that is the old style. Right here, this is the new style valve steam for sensors, and you can see where it has a thread on the center. This is the sensor, and we're going to install it into valve steam. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to be installing our wheel. We're going to be putting our wheel in the clamp machine, and now we're going to install the sensor into the valve. We actually found new valve stems. There's different types. One of them are just a clamping, and there's another valve stem that you can actually attach by putting a retention knot in it, and this is the one we're going to be using for this wheel. Right there, we're installing our valve stem, and then this is the retention knot. You want to find the specs and use a torque to attach that sensor into the wheel. The reason you want to use a torque tool is you want to make sure that you tighten it to the proper specs so that the wheel does not leak any air, and so that your sensor does not come loose inside that tire. Again, you want to keep in mind the location of the sensor is. For this particular wheel, you have to mount the tire with the wheel facing down. The wheel is designed to be installed like that. You always want to loop the tire so it goes in and out pretty easy. Right here, we're installing the tire. Remember, the tires have an inner side and an outer side, and that's marked on the face of the tire. Check it out to make sure you're installing the tire correctly. So we're looping the tire. We're trying to install the tire. These tires are low profile, and sometimes it's a little bit harder to work with these smaller tires than a taller wall tire, but we're getting it done. And this is the way we install the tires. Now we're actually gonna unclamp the wheel so we can put the proper air. You can find the recommended air pressure in your car. When you open the door, there's a sticker that has the recommended pressure for your car. You should always try to stick to the specs that are required for your car. Once you get it to the correct pressure, you want to put the valve stem, and you want to secure it. Make sure that it's tight. After mounting the wheel and tire, we like to clean our wheels. Make sure they look good. And now we're off to putting it on the car to make sure that the tire doesn't rub or touches any part of the suspension. Thank you for watching the video. Please stay tuned. We'll be shooting more videos of process of how we do some things.